Meant to send it over here. It's literally 1 a.m. on the West Coast. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? Hopefully there's one person in here. I see one person. I'm very excited. We've got some picks. I've posted the plays if you don't want to listen to me and you just want to see what I'm playing. This is Johnny. This is Jake. How you doing, Hollywood Hitters? First time for him talking. Let's get into it, honestly. We're not going to spend too much time on the prelim fights because it's 1 a.m. the night before the fights. And honestly, Martin Day, Davey Grant, don't care. Vanessa Mello, Carla Rosa, Parlay Rosa, because Melo's a bum. First pick, first bet of the night, hitter. Julian Paiva versus Zhalgas Zamagulov. Julian Paiva is a young gun. He's 24 years old. He's coming out of Brazil. Zhalgas Zamagulov coming out of Kazakhstan. People think he has a cool name, so they think he'll be a good underdog to bet. To watch his fights, not great. Not a lot of wins he got that could have gone either way. You could say that your opponent got robbed. I wasn't too impressed with anything he did. He's just very, meat and potatoes bland Russian, kind of just coasting style. But yeah, solid fundamentals, 31. Julian Paiva minus 170. I think you should style on him. I think Paiva's record in the UFC is very deceiving. Had a really good, really close fight with Kai Kara France, who got the hometown decision. Got kind of a fluke doctor stoppage loss to Boncharin. And then, he knocked out Mark De La Rosa, who's not really UFC caliber, but De La Rosa's pretty tough, and a lot of people, even recently, Espinoza struggled to really put him away. So I think this kid has a high ceiling. I think he has the advantage on the feet. I could see him getting a decision. I could see him getting a late TKO. I could see him also trying to grapple, maybe get a submission. What do you think?
Yeah, Zhalgas, he's I'm in
location.
I'm in the new UFC Fight Island T-shirt. I highly recommend. Great purchase. Paiva though, Zhalgas is a very scrappy fighter. He's got hands, great pressure. He'll throw in some leg kicks. I mean, he's ready to go down. He's gonna step into that octagon ready for finish. But I just think Paiva, based on his fight history, is very strong. Kara France, Boncharin, and
Mark De La Rosa.
Mark De La Rosa. I mean, this man he's had a hard history in the UFC, and I just think the Paiva money line or decision, hit the over 1.5, 2.5. There's so much value there. Just make it happen. Paiva, he missed weight,
which I think is a good thing because especially in flyweight, as we saw with Ray Borg, you have kind of an advantage with grappling. Those few extra pounds make a difference. He's going to lose some money, but I think, normally with someone loses weight, it's a red flag, but I think this will just help him. And he's been taking some money today.
Yeah, Paiva, he's got great gas tank. He's ready to throw them hands.
Yeah, so I've got 2 units on this to win.
And he's a fairly skinny man, so I think a little weight might help his performance.
Yeah. But yeah, Zhalgas super overrated. And also just anyone debuting, you always got to kind of look to maybe not bet on. Is this the next fight? Leo Santos.
Oh, shit. It's not.
No, it's Tybura. This one, let's not waste too much time. Tybura, more experienced, more, fully, he's got ground game, he's got wrestling. We've seen him knocked out a lot. I can name 3 times out of the last 4 fights he's been in. Coming off a win over Spivak, seems like he's gotten his shit together. He's like new gym, new UFC deal. I think he's going to grind out a decision here, maybe even get a submission. I think he should look to wrestle and take advantage of the fact he's a real heavyweight. And Grishin is a light heavyweight coming up last minute. Also, guys from the PFL, we saw with Linz getting knocked out by Bozer. Don't usually do too well, and I think it's because maybe the drug testing is a little stricter in the UFC. But yeah, I've got Tybura here. I was going to play Tybura against Romanov, who fell out because Romanov's just like, he's a fat guy. He's going to gas in like fucking 30 seconds. But I don't know. I could also see a Grishin early KO, so I don't want to get involved here. But Tybura is a pretty good pick. Bet also at evens, but we've got other spots on this card you'll hear about. What do you think?
Yeah, Tybura, man. I mean, he's fought a lot of great fighters so far. I mean, Sakai was a pretty brutal knockout there.
Early. That's the earliest.
Early first round. Lewis, third round. I mean, he's been through it.
We see you, one watcher. We see you. We thank you.
Yeah, he's been through it, man. I mean, they've really tested in the UFC, and I think right now with Grishin, I mean, he seems like
2 years older.
2 years older. I just think this is
fought nowhere near the level of competition. However, he did knock out Volkov back in the day, which is kind of interesting. Like the Volkov.
Yeah, the Volkov. I mean,
the guy who was in the greatest fight ever with Curtis Blades.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not completely holding out Grishin. I mean, that's what the line. It's keeping us honest with this pick, but I still think Tybura moneyline decision is value. Also,
are you actually going to bet?
Yes, I am going to bet Tybura. I think the value is there. I'm going to put 2 units down on that, and I'm definitely going to hit that over 1.5. I'm kind of a parlay degenerate when it comes down to it, so I think there's some value there with the over there. So
that's going to be the end of the early prelims, which are on Fight Pass.
Yeah,
and ESPN Plus.
We do think Santos is a live play, but just his age and I mean his experience.
I'm not very impressed with Bogatov. I understand he could go in there and wrestle fuck and lay and pray for 3 rounds and get a decision. So I can out those odds. It makes sense. I think it's kind of dog or pass. I think Leo Santos gets an early submission, honestly, in this. I was looking to bet that, but didn't love the odds. So, I mean, if we hit Paiva, I'll maybe sprinkle Leo Santos first round, Leo Santos submission. But I'm not crazy about this fight, especially anyone that's 4 years old. I'm not really trying to bet them.
Yes, Santos, he's got a lot of versatility to his game. He's got the takedowns. He's got the body kicks, leg kicks. I mean, this guy he's good, but his age is in question. So I think the safe play is Santos money line.
Santos in a parlay is not the worst thing ever, but obviously just kind of for fun, not anything heavy. But he's just one of those few favorites where I'm like, I think they should win, but I would not straight bet them. Bogatov has just been fighting. He's been submitting a lot of people, but a lot of people that are not good at all jiu-jitsu, and if he tries that shit against Santos, he's going to get his neck snatched up and be going home. Kind of sad. Next fight, Makwan Amirkhani, Mr. Finland, the cockiest motherfucker ever, versus Danny Henry, Scottish lad. This is a pretty interesting matchup. I can understand when Amirkhani's favorited. I think the line's a little wide. I think he should be able to, his best path to victory is not, gassing, which he has done in the last few fights. Against Burgos, he was, getting on top, getting takedowns for the first 2 rounds, and then just, got picked apart, TKO'd in the third. No shame in that. Burgos is legit. Mm-hmm. Josh Emmett, though, is more legit, as we saw. Makwan, though, I think he'll probably get an early submission, but I'm looking to live bet this if this goes, the second and third round. If I can get good, maybe 2-1 on Henry, and I can see a little bit of Makwan slowing, I'm down with that. But it's just kind of a pass for me. Picks Makwan. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Makwan. By sub there's some value there.
He's on like plus 150 though. So it's a shit prop bet. I wouldn't take that.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't recommend that. I'm just saying it's one of his paths to victories for sure. Danny Henry, he's got a chin, that man, for sure. And he's got a pretty good gas tank.
Same age as him.
Same age. They both have impressive sub-victories. Danny definitely got his bell rung against Ige. So,
we got submitted. He probably got rocked.
He got rocked before, for sure. Yeah, Ige is a complete savage. So, my pick here is definitely another opportunity to exploit that over 1.5 line that I think could be a parlay booster. But Makwan money line seems, I guess, a safer bet than submission, even though I still think...
not for a straight. I would play 2-1 on this guy.
Yeah, 2-1 on this guy is tough, but I still think he comes out of here with a victory. So 2 each his own on that. 2-1 is a little steep for me. Just in any UFC fight, really.
It's a pass. But yeah, next fight, banger. Muslim Salikov, King of Kung Fu, Zaleski dos Santos, not King of Capoeira, but just Capoeira, his nickname. We got Muslim slight favorite. I think he's like minus 125 on dimes. When I was first looking at this, I was pretty keen on betting Muslim. Then I missed him at evens, and it got to like minus 140, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to look at other fights. But I'm really not high on Alazu at this point in his career. He got just fucked up for 3 rounds by Li Jinglang in China. His last fight was right around Coventry. It was in the Kevin Lee Oliveira card. Just a really not convincing decision, kind of hometown decision over Kunchenko. He could definitely have a grappling advantage, which I see by people kind of playing up that angle, especially at dog odds. But I just think Salakov's too technical of a striker. I think he'll be able to stop takedowns. He got exposed on that a few fights ago against Garcia, but he's clearly worked on that. And I think he's a pretty solid play. I'm going to see how the line moves if I can get minus 115, minus 110. If Paiva, has gotten us off to a right start, maybe looking to bet him. What do you think?
Zaleski, he's a great fighter, very versatile. He's willing to throw. He's got them leg kicks. He's got a nasty right hand. But I just lean Muslim on this card. I think Muslim is also willing to throw hands, and he's not scared of anything. I just think that's going to backfire on Zaleski in this fight. And, Muslim money line or TKO could have some value here in this fight. I just think the value – and I know I keep giving out a lot of favorites, but I just seem like the matchup is there for him, for Muslim there. And Zaleski is, going to throw hands, and I think Muslim is going to knock him out.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the pricing on the decision, Muslim's like 350, and I think Dos Santos was 250. So that tells you something. But yeah, I'm looking at hopefully a dominant decision or a win for Salakov. Don't have a play yet, but almost there. Just hoping the line goes down a little bit. Next fight, the headliner for the prelims. This is my probably one of the bigger plays I'll be making tomorrow. Volkan, no time at Uzdemir over Jiri Prochaska coming out of Ryzen. He's their champion. He's been fighting a bunch of old dudes, having impressive performances nonetheless. But CB Dalloway and fucking King Mo and Fabio Maldonado are not exactly, Rakic and Dominic Reyes and Daniel Cormier. So I think that Uzdemir is going to give him the vet lesson here. I think Yuri's live for a KO, but doesn't check leg kicks. He does have good cardio. I've seen him kind of turn up in later rounds in Japan, but I see Volkan being a little bit better everywhere. Maybe being a little slower, but I think he's going to take it to this kid and either get late second round KO or a dominant decision one. What do you think?
Yeah, Volkan, man.
Line's minus 150, by the way.
He has the most padded history at anybody he's fought.
What do you mean? Oh, padded
Volkan,
and good.
Padded and good. I mean, he's fought Reyes, which I honestly think he had a chance of winning the decision. He could have been.
I thought a lot of people thought he was wrong.
Though I know that Rakic, everyone else thought he won and was kind of undeserved.
Still, though, you're fighting.
When you looked at his leg, though, I mean, it was.
That's why he won. Honestly, I think the judges saw that.
Yeah, that leg was beat up, and he honestly could have utilized that a little bit more. And I guess if you look at the Latifi fight, I mean, Latifi, man, I mean, he didn't look that sharp in that fight. I mean, I know he had back problems, and it was his first fight back from that surgery, but
you treated him accordingly.
And like I said, man, he's a patient fighter. He's got knees, he's got kicks, and he's all about throwing hands. So I really think Yuri's in trouble. There obviously isn't as much footage on him in terms of UFC fights. And
yeah, I'd like to see Volkan throw leg kicks, get him against the fence, pressure, and then like we saw against Jimmy Manuwa, do some of that inside dirty boxing. He's got a lot of power in the short shots. Hopefully get a knockout. But yeah, I think I'm a lean a little bit to decision, but we'll see. I think this fight's going to be a banger. I mean, anything could happen. It's light heavyweight. But I feel pretty confident. I'm on Volkan for 2 units. Minus 145, I got it. Mm-hmm. I think he's playable up to minus 165, 170. He was at 170, I think, earlier in the week. But yeah, that's going to be so Paiva and Volkan are my two prelim hitters, and now we're about to get to one of the most stacked main card pay-per-views of this year. And honestly, I just have like a very I'm excited. This first fight is also just could be just the most hilarious. If Paige Van Zandt pulls a Roxanne Modafferi and beats Hebus, I will give $50 to a random subscriber. And actually to you, the one person watching. I may just Venmo you $50. Just drop your Venmo. I swear to God, I'll Venmo you right now because I appreciate it. I'm hoping you're there. Anyways, yeah, Amanda Hebus, what can we say? She's hot. She's younger. No, they're the same age. But she's up and coming. She's had a few impressive victories in a row. Ran through Laura Dern. Ran through Marcos. I don't think she's minus 900 dominant, especially in a women's MMA fight where, you know, I don't exactly think Paige is going to be getting knocked out. We've seen she's tough. You know, you can hate her TikToks, but she's a fighter. You're not.
I like her TikToks.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. She's cute. They're like in love and attractive. Get it, whatever. Get it. Don't follow her if you don't like it. But yeah, I mean, she obviously. This is kind of the punishment for complaining about fighter pay, and clearly they want Hebus to be a big star, which I think she will be, even if she lost this fight. I think, you know. But Hebus has been knocked out before by Pollyanna Viana, who sucks, who got subbed by Veronica Macedo, who's another beautiful woman, but someone not very good at fighting. So, granted, that was on the regionals, but I'm just saying, anything could happen. I do see Rebus winning a dominant decision or getting a late finish. I'm really tempted to bet Rebus decision. It's like plus 120, but still kind of on the fence. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rebus is a pretty good fighter. Her competition, to me, is a little suspect. I mean, they were dominant finishes, and
well, she didn't finish. She finished Emily Whitmire, got a submission. But
correct against Mackenzie Dern. He didn't get, but she did.
She teed off. She turned up on Mackenzie Dern. I remember that Dern was the favorite in that fight.
Yeah, she got a unanimous decision with that one.
And against Marcos, she was, like minus 400, but she looked like she was.
And in fact, in the third round, she really tried to get that finish with some passionate yelling, some ahs in there. I mean, she's a very likable character. She's very grateful.
Obrigado. I can't do a Brazilian, but yeah.
She's very thankful to be there.
She's
hard not to like, but I do think Paige Van Zandt, I mean, she's very tough. She's got a good chin. I mean, watch her spend 5 rounds with Rose, Thug Rose in there. And you'll see that she can take a hit, and but also
she's in good shape for sure.
She's in good shape,
as you can see from the TikToks.
Those TikToks are very, they show how how fit she is, and I think she's a versatile fighter, more versatile than Rebus has. Gone against. I mean, she's got kicks that will maybe keep some distance, and I think because this fight is 3 rounds, she should be able to survive for a Rebus unanimous decision victory.
Dominant. Maybe even a 10-8.
But maybe a submission for Rebus if she really did her
game. The pick for me is a Rebus decision, I think. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to say in the distance is like a square play, but I just really see this one kind of go in the distance. 15 minutes, not too long.
It's going to be
now, and even better women's MMA. Like one of the most intriguing matchups for me on this card: Jessica Andrade versus Thug Rose, Nami Yunus. This is going to be. I know this whole thing's been amazingly entertaining, but we're about to take it up a notch because we're on different sides here and are pretty passionate in our opinions. But yeah, Rose coming in 2-1 favorite after getting knocked out in her last fight by Andrade. Andrade about plus 185 right now. So just off the bat, I played Andrade for 1 unit plus 180. Maybe add. I kind of like the Andrade scorecards, no bet. I forgot exactly how you say that. Basically, if the fight goes to scorecards, it's a push. You get your money back. But I do think that she could win a decision. I think that she could use her cardio, power, wrestling advantage to kind of shut Rose down. It's going to be a tall task, but the line is off. The value is on Rose. I mean, no, the value is on Andrade. I like Rose. If I lose this bet, I'm fine with it. But it's just sometimes the bookies give you a gift like this when there's a narrative of, oh my God, Rose was like Muhammad Ali in round 1. And, oh, it was a fluke and all this. It's a little bit of, false narrative. So I like to fade the narratives. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a very complicated fight, I must say. Andrade, I mean, what else can I say about her? She's a beast. She brings the pressure.
She's definitely on those.
She's throwing crazy hands, overarm. She's throwing, overhand. And, she'll go up to the clinch, try and get a little body slam, as you saw in the first round. But I'm a little bit of a recency bias. Rose's last fight to this day is still Andrade. So as far as I'm concerned, she's pretty aware of how she lost. And,
she's taking time
round 1, 10-9 Rose, easy. The head strikes were 21-6, ending that round. So there's a clear advantage in terms of decision.
She was slowing down.
I don't know if she was slowing down. She gets clinched up, and I'm sure she has a plan for that strategy. And to
what I worry about with Andrade also is her last fight. She did the Andrade thing, went forward, and got fucking put out.
Yeah.
So, I can see I can see the argument for Rose. I just think the betting line is absolutely absurd. I think she should be like -130, maybe.
Yeah, the line is off, and that's why I say all the values on Andrade. I think Andrade's TKO is plus 600, so it's
It's now it's taking money. It's better like 5.
Yeah, or round 3. I mean, at some point, Rose she could miss in her evasion, so
she's gonna have to be on her P's and Q's. But yeah,
correct. She's gonna have to establish a strong cardio, which honestly I think she has. Being a farmer and all. So.
Yeah.
So I think she wants the next fight, the Zhang Rose,
which I don't think.
I think UFC also does. So
do.
I think there's some decision influence there. I think Rose's decision is the play. I don't criticize anyone taking that value on Andrade. It's value, but I think Rose gets the decision.
We'll see tomorrow. I can't wait. I know you can't wait. One viewer. Loyal viewer.
This guy cares. This
I know.
cares.
The guy or girl?
Guy or girl cares, man.
Next fight, we're getting into the championship fights, the belts, 3 title fights. What more could you ask for? Piotr, Siberian gangster, no mercy on versus Jose Aldo, the legend, junior. This is one where I kind of just want to sit back and enjoy it. I lean Jan. I've got him in a parlay with some other favorites, Hebus, Rosa. But
Rose.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be pulling for Aldo. I can see the argument. I think there's value on his line, but not enough for me. I think Peter Yan should get it done late. Jose kind of gasses a little bit, even though he was known as a 5-round fighter. And either wins a dominant decision or gets a late finish. But I'm be hoping that Aldo can turn back, the clocks and maybe get an early KO, because we've seen Jan his pressure is unbelievable and he's relentless, but there are holes, there are openings, and it's going to be very, very hairy from the first 2 rounds, I think. But kind of just a pass for me. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I love Jan is a great fighter. I do question his journey to a title. I mean, people keep talking about if Aldo's is justified, but I don't know.
All Joe is the real champion. That's what
All Joe. I mean, Jan, he's got a pretty fairly decent ride. I mean, Rivera, he was throwing hands, and it gave Jan some big trouble there. So
he was winning a lot of those minutes until they dropped at the end of those rounds.
Yeah, I mean, except for the first round, I would definitely agree with that statement. I'm just saying Aldo. I mean,
I'm saying Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera. I had him as a 10-9 first round. I mean, Rivera utilized those leg kicks. I felt like Rivera kind of left his game plan in the third round and tried to throw versus manipulating those leg kicks and going for takedowns. But
he'll be fighting on Wednesday, by the way, against Cody Stamen. Look for that.
That's gonna be.
I can't wait. I love Cody Stamen. Very tempting at dog odds, but it's a tough test to fight Jimmy Rivera. Short notice.
Aldo's been looking good. He's fought in the best, and he's one of the legends of the game.
Yeah, for me, it just comes down to I'll take youth 9 times out of 10 over.
Yeah, I mean, Jan is going to bring that pressure and that dominance that he brings, and I mean, he's got hands for days. So
they've trained together too.
I just wonder what's going to happen in that 4th and 5th round if it gets there, or if Jan's going to get an early TKO. So should be an interesting fight. It's not one of my more confident ones, that's for sure.
This is a popcorn fight. This is sometimes you gotta stop sweating for a minute and just enjoy the beautiful martial arts. Next up, the pick is Jan for me as well.
Moneyline.
Next up is the fight I've been kind of most intrigued. I mean, obviously, we're going to get to the main event, which has the most heat. It's the most dramatic. It's the most exciting. But for me, on a technical level, on really just a history level, this is a super big fight. I mean, you've got who people consider the featherweight GOAT until he, lost 2 out of his last 3. No shame in that. By the way, losing to Poirier, he went up to 155. Losing to Volkanovski, we saw what happened. The leg kicks, Volk had a perfect strategy. I've been kind of all over the place with this. Kind of similar to last fight. My heart wants Max, but I lean Volk. A lot of what Max beats the shit out. I'm going to make a case for what the fuck is that? Wi-Fi? All right. Hopefully this is working. Max Holloway. Yeah, I was trying to make a case to take him at, almost plus 200. That line moved an insane amount after that interview we talked about, just sparring over Zoom, which I think is a little bit of, him just trying to cover his ass and his team's ass. And people love to read into that stuff and, draw their own narratives. But I think we're going to get a good match. I think we're going to get the best Max we can get tomorrow. It feels like Volk is kind of his kryptonite. I think what Max has got to do is just go in there and make it a war, honestly, and just try and. I just don't see him being able to win it. I don't think Volk is bullyable. I think that that's what Max is known for, is the cardio, the coming on late, the volume, bullying his opponents, and I just don't think that that's really going to work on Volk unless it just turns into a complete. Oh, we lost our one viewer. A complete. You made it a long time. Fuck. Maybe the one viewer was literally just.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think that unless Max really just goes out there, which I think he will, honestly, because he's at a bit of a turning point in his career. But it's just I see Volk probably taking this.
It was Dylan in the other room.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh, someone's back. Oh, what's up? So yeah, as much as I want Max, I think it's Volk. I've got Volk in a parlay. It's another one where I'm just not going to play 2-1. What do you think?
Look, Volkanovski, man. I mean, I love them leg kicks, man. I could watch them leg kicks all day. I just think Volkanovski has Holloway's number. I mean, what good training. I mean, he's gonna rack up them points, and I think Holloway can
point fighting.
Point fighting. I mean, Holloway's coach said it perfectly.
Volk's coach.
Volk's
Eugene
coach.
Bannon.
Yeah, Eugene Bannon. I think Holloway's obviously one of the greatest of all time. I just think stylistically, it's a mismatch, and Volkanovski's too quick for this man, and he's gonna win a long. He wants to finish him. Who doesn't want to finish the other fighter?
Yeah. Well, that's what kind of gives me hope for Max, is that I think in order for Max to win is that he needs Volk to kind of go for it and not just be completely sharp and defensive and technical and in and out, which I thought he was in the first fight. And even though people say Max won those later rounds, they're pretty damn close. You know what I mean? So
no, they were. I think the fight was close.
He did make some good adjustments, but he went to the body a lot more, which I liked, and I think he's going to implement that. But heart says Max, mind says Volk. Hopefully it'll be a great one. Honestly, what I'm hoping for most is a UFC 217 repeat where all the belts change hands, all the underdogs win. That'd be amazing. Anything could happen, anything. But
and a Rose winning, of course.
Not that, but yeah.
And
I like Rose. It's just
for the penultimate finale.
Let's get into it. So
here we are. We made it.
I'm honestly I love Gilbert Burns, but I'm so happy that this played out the way it did. Because this is a main event now. You know what I mean? I love Gilbert Burns, but come on, dude. No one is really dying to shell out $70 for Usman and Burns. It's
I would.
I would. I mean, we're rich over here from all this hit, and we'll be rich hopefully after Paiva and Usman and get it done early. But yeah, Kamaru Usman, Nigerian Nightmare, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. I'm just hoping the public continues to bet Masvidal, because if Usman gets down 200, maybe even 210, I'm gonna fucking have to bet him. But
easy.
This is what can be said. You know the deal. Usman wrestling, amazing cardio.
Street fighter extraordinaire. I mean,
Usman. Well, yeah, and then Jorge. Yeah, I mean, you see the Kimbo videos. By the way, check out the fight lore on Kimbo on UFC Fight Pass. Great documentary. But yeah, Gamebred. I think he's going to have a little bit better takedown defense than people expect. He's been training with Bo Nickel, Penn State wrestler. But I just other than Usman falling in love with his hands and treating this like the Colby fight, which I don't think he will because he's a smart guy, and getting fucking sparked, which could happen, and honestly would be fucking amazing. And even though I've been kind of a little bit annoyed with Masvidal and critical of him, that would be just such a great all-time moment. But I've got Usman dominant decision. I really wanted to bet him. That I saw that Usman decision was plus 200, on some other book, and I was waiting on 5 dimes, and then once it came out, it was way lower. So it's plus 150 now. I'm tempted to play that. I like the strategy of playing. First of all, I just like Usman money line, especially in a parlay. But if you're going to take Usman decision, also probably sprinkle round 4 and 5, just in case he gets a late finish, and then you're getting 10-1 odds on that. Maybe put quarter half unit on that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll probably drop. Depending how the early fights go, and depending, I really want that line to get lower. But yeah, the pick for me is Usman. What do you think? Masvidal's live though. I think he's more live than Burns was.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So Masvidal's key to success here is similar to Colby, how that fight went. It was all stand up, no takedowns.
But that was because it was 2 wrestlers.
2 wrestlers. Very very key point there. Did you know that Usman's takedown average is literally 100%? He has never been taken down in a UFC bout.
Oh, even in defense. Defending takedown.
Defending takedowns, wow. Yes. Whereas Masvidal's is also pretty good, 78% for the fun facts. We try to add as many statistical advantages in these videos. So,
a lot of money's been coming in on Masvidal. A lot of that's public, but I do think that there are people with. I'm not going to say they're sharps, but I can understand the play on him.
Minus 300 Usman money line. That is too steep. We do not.
That's where it probably should be, honestly, but.
No, I think this line, for me personally, I have encouraged as many public Masvidal bets as possible because Usman just has such a big, he's a way more versatile fighter.
Better cardio.
He's going to wrestle this fool. He's going to grab, clinch in the cage. Masvidal's in trouble. I know he's been training with wrestlers, but.
And also, I know the only question is okay, is Usman going to try and go out there and knock out Masvidal? Honestly, don't think he will, because we've heard in the Usman interviews he talks about how he prefers a long, drawn-out war where you can break your opponent. He said, Marty's not the best, personality in the UFC, but I did kind of get hyped when he was when you break him in and you look him in the eye, and you just know that's the style that's going to win him the fight. And that's what would cash, Usman decision. Usman round 4 and 5. So that's the play. That's the pick. Haven't done it yet.
Yeah, expect a very long.
But I would be thrilled. I would gladly lose money for a Masvidal KO.
See, that's where we disagree. I want everyone.
I won't gladly lose money, but if it had to happen,
Usman,
it would be insane. it would be fucking insane if he did this on a week. It's not really a week notice, but a week notice.
Usman's advantages are very clear. I think his coaching is top notch. And I think strategically they're just going to grind this one out, get takedown if possible here and there, get into the clinch. And, Usman can't be contained. He's too strong. I just think it's a mismatch.
Yeah.
Heavily favored towards Usman. This should be a walk in the park for him. And Masvidal's in a nothing to lose scenario here. And
built-in excuse.
If he can catch him early, first round, will pop there.
It kind of reminds me of not obviously in the narrative, but it's almost similar matchup to Conor Khabib, but just a welterweight, where you've got this amazing striker with pretty solid takedown defense, but it's clearly a hole to exploit versus the master on the mat. And I got to go with Usman. Interesting article also about Usman's dad being in prison and watching all his fights. With everyone there on ESPN, which we're checking out. So, honestly, do you want to? How about let's look at this whole card? What are you most excited to see? What's your most anticipated bout, and what's your best bet? We're gonna do best bet money line and best bet prop bet. If you need a second, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first. Break it down.
So, I'm obviously the main event is kind of how can you not be most excited for that? But I'm kind of more I need to see what happens with Max and Alex first, because there's been so much talk, and it's not really shit talk, but Max saying, "Oh, I thought I won the fight." Alex saying you're delusional. A lot of people split. A lot of people are really confident in Volkanovski. I've seen more people confident in Volk, more confident than they are in Usman, which I don't know, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But so that's what I'm most looking forward to seeing. Hope Max can win. And then best bet for me on the night is obviously if you get Usman minus 210, even 220, honestly, that's the safest bet I'd say. But I'd say something with a better line is Uzdemir. I think that's my most confident play. Minus 150, very fair. Good way to get up a few shekels early or halfway through the card. And then best prop bet, I would have to go, Usman 4 and 5. Just in terms of value. I mean, you could also say Jan late, but I don't know. I like Usman better in that regard. What about you?
Yeah, so the two spots I'm looking at right here, definitely Paiva money line. I mean,
Which we mentioned. I'm on Paiva as well.
Paiva, yeah, we definitely share that pick, and also the Volkan pick. I'm super confident in on the money line. I mean, these guys are just great strikers, and just have a lot of confidence for them in these bouts. And the problem with my picks are a lot of them are on the money line. I am confident on a lot of the favorites getting it done. So, I mean, like
What's
I said,
one dog that you like?
One dog that I like. One dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one dog. Yeah, that's interesting.
Andrade for me.
In terms of value, Andrade would be the best underdog in terms of value, more so than Aldo, in my opinion, as well as Holloway. But Holloway can sneak a decision, as well as
get a finish too.
Andrade is just very live for a finish at any point. So if you are low on credit and need value, Andrade TKO, I highly recommend. Plus 600, that's crazy. In terms of favorites, you can't go wrong with a Volk
Usman.
Volk Usman.
That's probably safe.
Volk Usman Rose. I know it's ballsy to put Rose in there, but
put Jan over Rose.
Put Jan over Rose, but to make it even the finest dream possible, you throw in Rose, you throw in
Ribas. I mean, it's not really
I wouldn't throw in Ribas. I would dream. Take a dream. Bet the decision. Parlay that with a smaller number. You'll be thanking me later.
Volk decision, Usman decision.
Ribas decision. There you go.
Ribas decision.
3-team. If that
those are all about even, so that's probably going to pay for sure over 10 to 1. Let's see.
Yeah. So.
Do you say your best prop bet?
Yeah, my best prop bet. but I also don't necessarily think.
We got a comment. What's up, bro? It's gonna start. So depending on what time zone you're in, I'm in Pacific time. So early prelims are 3 p.m. Pacific. That's 6 p.m. New York time. If you're in England, I know it's later in the night. Obviously, I'm not sure the exact number, but yeah. And then the main card's at 7 Eastern. I mean Pacific time. So 10 Eastern. But yeah, we're fucking hyped. Again, the plays, Paiva minus 165 or 70 now. Usman minus 150. And then wait on Usman, get a better line, hopefully. But you know what's good.
But also, I want to share some love on
and Andrade. Sorry.
I encourage some dreaming in this
parlay.
card.
It's a parlay card.
Parlay card. Take those favorites, man. Santos and Muslim and Paiva and Ribas. I mean, there's value all over the place. Ribas decision, I might add.
Yeah. Ribas decision
not
and
money line.
Decision are both pretty solid.
Not minus 900.
Yeah.
Not worth
Fuck
it.
that.
Fuck that.
But yeah, love any more questions. Appreciate anyone tuning in. It's the first time we've done this. I've done podcasts before. It's the first live stream. Even one viewer. Proud to know you.
What is his name?
This guy's Roofy Jays. I don't know if this is our viewer, but I'll comment on that too. 2 p.m.
Yeah, but we'll be back for. I'll be back. I hope.
Yeah, we got a card on Wednesday. We got a card next Saturday. We got 3 events in 8 days, so or 7 days, whatever. You know what I mean? Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So we're fucking spoiled. There's great cards coming up. Hopefully, no more. Fingers crossed with this. No can. It seems like everything's intact. 13 fights. It's gonna be a fantastic evening.
Do you want to mention we'll be coming back with NBA. And
MLB once we got sports back,
we'll be
way
more
on here all the
content.
time. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, Hollywood Hitters.
Subscribe.
Hit
that like button.
Hit that like.
Comment.
But yeah, share anything. Super appreciated. Even if you think we're like fucking retarded and you think we're gonna lose all our bets, comment that. Tell your friends. And yeah, sorry it's the last minute, but yeah, appreciate it.
Bye. I can't